Do you see any Kanye spectrum?
As him?
Yeah. Do you this recent meltdown? Do you?
Can you do one thing?
Did he have a meltdown?
Yeah, do one thing for me because
What did he do? Oh, I didn't.
I haven't been keeping.
So
track of
Kanye
any of
West has been in the press lately doing different things. He stopped by TMZ where he announced that slavery was a choice, that 400 years of oppression was a choice, and has fired his management, has gotten on and off Twitter in a sporadic way, came out and wore a MAGA hat.
Right.
said
That part I saw.
Yeah, and it's been getting sort of progressively worse as we've been going on. So some people are mad, but what I see is a little bit of spectrum-ish, or a little bit of, some people are saying drug use. Meds, on and off meds.
Yeah.
And because we talk about that on the show every once in a while, I was wondering, do you see any of that?
Well, sure. In what Kanye's doing?
Yeah.
Of course. I mean, the alternative would be to go, no, I think Kanye's being completely rational and was born without any, like, neurological
Yeah.
I think
imbalances.
it's that. I think he's just a
Have you
weirdo.
always seen that?
He's always been a weirdo.
Yeah, well, he's always
Yeah.
been pretty, I mean...
Yeah.
I mean, he's always had a big personality. I'm always like, how many fucking albums do you need to go platinum before, like, how, is there a little bit of a, how much shit did we put up with from old white guys, like, not to go there repeatedly, but like, I was like, Kanye had so many like hits under his belt.
Yeah.
Before he was like famous for being crazy for basically just saying in most of the context that it was happening in, unless I guess like him storming the stage at the VMAs, but the VMAs are fucking fake awards. Like you're not even really getting an award for anything. So to come up on stage, isn't that where he did the Taylor Swift thing?
You get a moon, man.
But other than that, it was just like
That's MTV.
He's like I don't want these floor tiles on the floor for my being a perfectionist, and I was always like kind of in his corner because the first place people go is, oh, you're crazy, you're manic depressive, you're they diagnose you, but who cares? It's a capitalist society, so like. I got the cure to my schizophrenia right here. It's called I'm a billionaire.
Yeah.
And I do think that we Frank, I don't know. This is white guilt talking, but I feel like we unevenly apply that rule to black men. Like we let them go crazy from getting rich, and then we really break out the medical clipboards like in a way that we don't with white guys that get rich and go crazy.
I think we love all dismantling of celebrity, but it is this one's interesting because there is that feeling of like, yes, we kind of all knew that he was crazy. I don't know why this is different.
You describing that stuff. The difference that I'm hearing is that it sounds sad.
It's super sad.
It's the slavery thing and it's like that explains a lot because I came into all I saw was him tweeting pictures of his. He's like, "Yo, does this look like the sunken place?" And I was like, that's a little sad, but it's also like it wasn't so sad that I wasn't like laughing at it. Because it was like, yeah, of course it does.
It does look like a corridor of the sunken place. your design choice is,
which you should be proud of because you bought it. You bought the sunken place. That's like you weren't imprisoned there by Catherine Keener. Like so good for you. But like, anyways, I didn't know that was the backstory. I didn't hear about that TRL or whatever thing. Like
he took over TMZ, which he classically hates TMZ. He likes to strike out at them, punches their photographers, breaks their cameras. But he went to TMZ and at some point was addressing the entire room instead of just being interviewed. So he stood up and sort of held court. And then later on, they sort of had bootleg footage of him doing the same thing and getting to.
What do you mean he took over? Do you mean like he went into their offices?
They will let you. Usually, they'll have a celebrity sit down between two people, Harvey and Dread Dude, and they'll talk.
Right.
So he was supposed to be facing forward, talking to those dudes on either side of him, and he at one point gets up and turns around and tells this story about why he got liposuction, how he got addicted to opiates. Did you see any of that shit? So he stands up and he's like, I had to go get liposuction because I didn't want you guys to call me fat like you did Rob Kardashian, and I was trying to go to the Grammys, and I was on the red carpet, and you guys called me fat. So then they gave me opiates, and I was taking a bunch a day, and then when I went to the hospital because I took too many, they gave me 7 and released me, is where he started. So like he's having a moment. For sure.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
not-
that is
But we did. I just noticed that people sort of suspended their.
judgment.
Yeah, they were
because
like,
they're like, well, this is serious. He's like, it's like Gary Busey, you know, like
Yes.
like where you go.
Or
I mean,
Britney.
we kind of felt that way about Charlie Sheen, but we were just like, nah, let him go, you know, but yeah.
Also, there's this crazy thing with Sheen. Charlie Sheen people were like, fuck yeah.
Right.
It was like, it was a Trump effect where they were sort of like, this is a rallying cry for guys who have wanted to live this way for a long time. Incels, basically, which is also
Yeah.
a crazy new thing.
Because he also, well, I want to examine this, like what we experience when we picture Kanye saying this stuff, because it's part of it is it's vulnerable. He's saying, he's like clearly, it's like there's a difference between a guy going alpha and like being, there's a difference between he's clearly out of his mind and he's clearly out of his mind. Like, oh, how come he didn't know that saying I could lift 1,000 pounds would make him seem weak? But then someone saying like, yeah, I've been really weak lately.
Yeah.
In a way that is, then you immediately go, well, then I'm on your side.
Yep.
If you're being truthful, and I don't want you to get hurt, so get off of the TV.
There's also this rap braggadocio that makes it difficult to figure out when somebody's being crazy.
You just never want a rapper to, I mean, in air quotes, you never want a rapper to, I think this is amazing, but like it's just not part of the word liposuction. That's probably the first time that's really been introduced.
Nah, man, my image means a lot to me, man. I got a chemical pill. I'm over here trying to get this lipo for my lipo. It's an interesting thing to watch, because people are taking. There's this very fine line where you say, "Are we shitting on this dude because we shit on people at this point? Are we getting out a little bit of racism in that we've never really had the backs of black dudes, so now that one's going crazy who happens to be rich and has been very vocal about how he fucked the system to get rich? Are we doing this thing?" I used to watch Jerry Springer and all these talk shows where there'd be a black mother on stage. She'd be being shit on by a white audience for being a bad mother, and there was a section of it where you were like, "No, what? Wait a minute,
Right.
like what?" Some of you all are just being straight up awful about this shit.
Right.
And some of that is what I've seen. I've seen some people who are taking a pot shot at a black millionaire. And then I've seen some people who have no respect for the fact that we're watching somebody with a mental illness.
Yeah.
Like, it's a crazy, crazy thing to watch.